Hey guys, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden.
Hi everybody.
Hey guys, yeah, today we're gonna answer some garden questions that you guys have had for us. And you know guys, we're getting back to you all as fast as we can. So just hang in there if we haven't returned a reply to your question. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we're working on those every day here. But before we get into our garden questions, you guys, we are kind of celebrating here. Big high five.
High five.
Because
Boom.
we reached 1 month since our book has come out as of yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the 1 month birthday of the first time gardener growing plants and flowers.
We're celebrating, you guys. Yeah. So
1 month.
you know,
yay.
and everybody who's already purchased the book, thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. If you haven't purchased yours yet, you can go to Amazon.com and find it on there. It's just so awesome. We're so excited.
I know, and thank you to those of you who have left a review. We really appreciate that.
Yep.
So moving on, we've got a bunch of, so today we're covering some awesome questions that have come up that we thought would be really helpful for a lot of you right now.
Yep, and we've got, we're gonna cover about Gladiolus.
Right.
We're gonna talk about 2 questions with Gladiolus, then we're gonna talk, first we're gonna talk about fuchsias.
We got fuchsias, that's
yep,
right.
And then
fuchsias
it's gonna
on the
be,
mind right now.
Yep, and then it's gonna be 2 Gladiolus questions, and then a primrose question, how to take care of those. And we're gonna timestamp those down below, so go ahead and look down below if you wanna hear the question and hear our answer on one of those specifically.
Nice, let's get to it.
Okay, so our first question comes from TK. Thank you, TK, for asking your question. We really appreciate it. They were asking on the video for caring for your fuchsia hanging basket. And their question was, what's the difference between a seed pod from a spent flower, an old flower, and the incoming flower buds and the new flowers developing? And so TK, what you need to look for is on the new flowers coming in, they're small, spherical, and they're colored. They actually, on this one, it's kind of a pink. It's a very distinct color from the green leaves. And you can see they're spherical and they're closed up and they have that color to them. Now, when the flowers open up, they look like this guy right here. So you can see that it turns from this to this, incoming flower bud to flower fully open. And then once this flower is dead, what's gonna be left is this. And this is a seed pod. The flower would be here and come off this way. When the flower drops, you're gonna see this on the stems here. And you can see this is lobed. It's got like little lobes on it right here. And it basically usually has 4 lobes. It gets a little bit elongated. This is where the seeds are. And this is a seed pod. And so this is what happens and this is what it looks like when the flower is done. So hopefully that answers your question, TK. If not, let us know either here or on caring for your fuchsia hanging basket on that video too, and we'll keep the conversation going.
Our next question comes from Shweta. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name, but Shweta had a great question about Gladiolus corms. So you can see some in my hand right here. In fact, Sean and I have about 80 of these still to plant this year. So that's on our task list soon. So the question was great, and it was about pulling gladiolus bulbs out of the ground in the fall to protect them from snow in the winter, and specifically about zoning. Shweta mentioned that they live in zone 6B, and they were again wondering if they need to pull them out of the ground this coming fall to protect them. And the answer is yes. You will need to pull your gladiolus corms out of the ground. We live in zone 8B, and we are fortunate that we can leave ours in the ground because the glads are hardy from zones 8 through 11. You can actually plant them anywhere from zones 2 through 11. But anything less than 8, you're going to need to pull them out of the ground. So to clarify, if you live in any zone that's lower than zone 8, so zone 7, 6, 5, or below, you're going to need to pull your corms out of the ground in the fall to protect them from the winter freezing. You don't want to lose your corms or your bulbs. You want to plant them again next spring, right? If you live in zones 8 through 11, you can leave them right in the ground where you planted them and don't need to worry about pulling them out. So we hope that's helpful for you, and let us know if you need any more help or have any more questions about that.
So guys, our next question comes from Lisa Tangent. She was asking about gladiolus bulbs too from the How to Plant Gladiolus Bulbs video. And so Lisa asked, hey, I'm having oodles of babies, Sean and Allison. How would you guys handle this? What would you guys do? So Lisa, thank you for asking your question. We really appreciate it. How we would handle things, it kind of depends on what your situation is. If you have bulbs like we have here in our hands that are being ready, that are ready to plant, and you didn't, you either overwintered them or you just bought them and they came like this and they've got a little baby here and then a regular sized mature bulb, we would actually plant all these out, no big deal, just space them out, give them enough space, and how many inches the spacing says on your packaging that you bought them in, if you bought them, and we would plant that way. We would definitely plant the little babies out because you want to have more plants. You want to have more, just like us probably, and it doesn't hurt to have these little guys out there and help them develop and mature. Now the thing to keep in mind is that these baby bulbs, these baby gladiolus bulbs, are going to still grow this year and they'll leaf out, but they're not going to flower more than likely because they're not mature enough yet. Usually takes about 2 to 3 years, maybe more, for many different bulbs to mature and grow from this little stage that they're in right now. So just keep that in mind. Now, the other way to look at this, if you have all these baby bulbs already planted in the ground, you know they're coming up, or you're seeing them come up right now, and it's super tight, they're growing real close together. Right now, they're just breaking through the soil. It's okay to pop them out, transplant them, get them out very gingerly, and space them out. This is a good time to do it. It's okay. Just make sure not to disturb or cut away the root systems at all, or as little as possible, and get them spaced out. So whether they're in the ground and they're already growing, or they're out of the ground like these guys and you don't know what to do with them, that's how we would handle that situation. And we hope we answered your question for you.
And our final question comes from Terry Wilson about primroses. And this was based on our primrose care video that we filmed back maybe this past winter. So primroses are beautiful winter blooming plants into spring. Right now you might be noticing your primroses aren't really flowering and there's just a lot of foliage. And that's what we're seeing as well. We've got this little primrose kind of pot right here. You can see it's just foliage, and we don't have any flowers coming up. They come right out of the center there if you were to see them. So Terry's question was, did we cut back primroses that we bought at the grocery store and that we planted and overwintered? And the answer is yes. We actually have 3 large primrose plants in this one pot, and then we have the 2 little ones in here. These were all bought at our favorite nursery called Watson's Nursery in Puyallup, Washington. They have beautiful plants. And we overwinter these successfully here. Actually, these flowers really never stop blooming in our climate. We're here in zone 8B and we keep them out of the full sun. They're kind of more of a shade, partial shade, a little bit of, partial sun type plant, and they do very well here. So we will, as long as we keep deadheading and keep the care up, or keep giving these really good care, they're gonna keep on blooming. So Terry, I'm not sure if this has answered your question, but we thought we'd show you a couple ideas if you're looking to care for your plants or you're not sure what to do with them right now in the late spring. Couple options. So looking at these primroses, so the first thing we're gonna do is show you this little pot here. And basically you can see, again, we've showed you this already, but the foliage is looking very good. There are no yellowing or brown leaves anywhere. Well, there's a couple underneath, I guess. We could probably cut these out if we want, or sometimes they just pull out. But really, we're gonna leave this alone. There's nothing really to do with this plant other than just give it water, maybe a little fertilizer. But this plant, these are done. Now in this pot over here with these 3 primroses, you can see they've gotten very large. We probably might think about transplanting 1 or 2 of these out of this pot or just tidy them up, because you can see the flowers are actually really stretching. So you can see if we look in here, there's a lot of cutting back we can do. There's a lot of deadheading. In fact, I'm gonna cut this whole stem off. And how I'm gonna deadhead it is just go all the way down to the crown carefully and just snip that off. So that's one thing you can do, is get in here and just kind of cut off all of these stems. They're not producing any new flowers right now, so we can just kind of tidy them up a little bit. And I can just keep going, following these stems all the way down to their point of attachment and just clipping them off. Now we can also do the same with damaged leaves. You can see all the foliage on top is great. It looks really healthy and green. But if I was to dig under here, I'm sure we can find some not so pretty leaves. There's a whole cluster of things right here going on. So we can kind of cut those out and clean this up a little bit so that we can make room for the new leaves and the new flowers that are going to emerge. So Terry, we hope that answers your questions about primrose care. If you have specific questions you want to ask us, please email us at SeanandAllison@spokengarden.com, or just comment below this comment and let us know if you have need any further help.
So those were the questions we wanted to cover today to help you guys out. Hopefully we answered them and we gave you the information and the skills that you needed to take care of these things. If you have any other questions, definitely email us.
And you know what, we cover quite a few gardening care questions right at the beginning of every single live that we do every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
If you're not aware, we go live on YouTube every Saturday morning, called our Saturday Morning Live Garden Chat. And it's at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it's so much fun. We've been having a blast.
Yep, bring your coffee or your tea and any of your garden questions and just sit back and listen and get in that chat. It's so much fun.
Yeah, this week's topic is all about memorial gardens in honor of Memorial Day coming up this weekend.
Yep.
So we're going to be talking about a lot of different things on that show.
Yep, and hope we see you there. So go ahead and leave your comments and questions down below for us. We love hearing from you. And make sure to subscribe so you get updates on our latest garden care videos.
Yeah, and thank you for watching and for being here. And that's a wrap for today's video. So we'll be back next time. For now, take care, everybody.
Yep, take care.
Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.